Hello everybody and welcome back to EcoPosh for You. Today we're going to talk about what you should not do when you get a bad rating on Mercari using this example. So let's go ahead and get started. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend so far. Whether you're trying to get stuff done or you're relaxing, whatever it is you're doing, I hope it's going great. So let's go ahead and read this post out loud and then we can talk about it. This is what it says. Is there a way to get untrue ratings removed? The rudeness. We spoke once when they asked for my shipping date and I responded instantly. Maybe I should have put a tone indicator in my message. That's on me, but... Edit. I absolutely take fault in my lack of professionalism in this. I should have done better here, but the other stuff is so out of whack. Packing. I ship in padded mailers. They're literally bubble wrap mailers. Major attitude, ? Shipping and quote unquote marking it before I shipped it. They bought on a night Thursday and it was shipped Friday night, so it sat over the weekend. I don't see how the post office not picking their mail up on weekends is my fault. I'm seriously so upset. In 185 sales, I've never had anything like this. Alright, so before we take a look at the screenshots and evaluate this this situation, I just want to say I find this post itself to be kind of in bad taste. I already see that, they're not really taking responsibility for this situation, and they're already putting things in air quotes and blaming shit on the post office. All right. And that's the thing about owning a small business or any business, right? If you own it, it's always your fault. It doesn't matter if it's your fault or not. It's the post office's fault. No, it's your fault. Regardless if it's the post office's fault or not. Blaming the post office, they get blamed for a lot. They get blamed for quite a lot. Anyway, and keeping in mind, right, that these forums are meant for people to vent, right? So we need to keep in mind that this seller is obviously really frustrated with this situation, and so they're going there to vent. And so you have to take that into account too. However, even when you're venting, just to not take any responsibility for any part of this, I don't know. So let's take a look at the screenshots and see exactly what happened here. Alright, so the first thing I notice about the screenshot is that sadly this entire drama is over a $4 Littlest Pet Shop toy. That's kind of lame. And getting 1 star over a $4 toy. That's always a fun thing as a seller, right? So anyway, let's take a look at the screenshot. So this is what happened. So they gave the seller that posted this a 1-star rating, and this is what they said. One of the rudest sellers I've ever met. Packaging wasn't even padded or protected. They have major attitude and shipped it after the 3 days after marking it sooner. Do not buy from. Feedback is item cleanliness, item description, packaging, response time, and ship time. So instead of just saying, and most of us when we get something like this, you have to realize when you sell a certain volume of items, you're always going to get 1 or 2 like this. If you're doing what you need to do, doing what you should be doing as far as shipping and shipping things quickly, all of that, then, you're doing everything right. And there's nothing you can do about getting a bad review from time to time. It's just something that's going to happen. What you should do when you get it is just kind of roll your eyes and just say, okay, whatever, and just go on about your day. I don't ever recommend that you contact the buyer and say, oh my God, why did you give me a bad rating? Ugh. Just leave it alone, okay? It's never, in my experience, it doesn't end well. And maybe there would be other people, other sellers, other resellers that would give you guys different advice. But my advice is just let it go, man. Let it go. And just like I said, roll your eyes and just say, wow, this person is lame, and continue about your day. That's really the best scenario, in my opinion. But instead of doing that, they decided to contact this person. So you can see that what they were talking about earlier, hi, when will you be shipping? Monday. Okay, you can see that part of the conversation. And then you can see what happened when they contacted him about the low rating. And it says, did you mean to rate me like you did? My packages are bubble wrap, so they're padded. I'm actually so confused. I also don't see how I was rude when I only said one word, ? I wasn't yelling at you when I said Monday. It was simply just an enthusiastic way of speaking. I apologize that I wasn't more clear with that. All right. So, like I said, don't bother messaging them. Just don't do it. A lot of times, too, for example, now, this person already gave a 1-star rating, right? But a lot of times when people are unhappy, they will give maybe a 3-star rating because they don't want to completely be an a-hole. But I mean, this person decided that was fine, so they just went ahead and did the 1-star. But a lot of times people will start with a 3-star, and when you contact them and say, "Oh my God, why did you give me 3 stars?" The buyers can actually change the rating and make it lower. Okay, so keep that in mind before you contact somebody. Did they give you 4 stars, 3 stars? Maybe you shouldn't contact them because they'll change the rating to 1 star. So that wasn't an option in this case, but I just thought I would mention that. Now, there's a lot of problems that I have with this. Obviously, the thing is, why do people give unfair low ratings? And we've talked about this before. I've done so many videos on this, and we've all had this experience, and it is a very frustrating experience because if you did your packaging properly, if you did everything right, then somebody kind of lying on you is definitely, it can be upsetting. But you just have to realize that sometimes people are having a bad day, and there's really nothing that you can do about that. So I just, like I said, recommend leaving it alone. Why do people give bad? I don't know, but it's part of the reseller life, and so you need to find a way to not let it bother you and be professional about it. And there are a lot of different ways to handle it. I think the way that this seller handled this situation was very poor. Especially, like I said, over a $4 Littlest Pet Shop toy. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. Now let's take a look at the comments. It looks like there's like over 100 comments on this post. So I'm really curious to see what other sellers think about this little Mercari situation. So let's take a look at that. Here is a comment that I think is worth reading. I think this is a great suggestion. Definitely be careful using exclamation marks. It can be a big indicator someone is trying to express themselves in an annoyed, mad, or rude manner, even if it was meant in a more positive light. And I have to say that this is something that I've been more careful about as a seller. I've been trying to make sure that my communication is not open to any interpretation. Just be very dry, very matter of fact when you're explaining things to a buyer. Don't try to put any kind of expression, or just try to keep it very bland, because it is true that people can take exclamation marks the wrong way. Here's another good comment. It kind of elaborates on the exclamation mark thing. The person says, the 2 exclamation marks definitely reads like you're yelling. Still very stupid for them to leave a 1-star of that. But if I were the buyer, I would have thought you were annoyed by me asking when you're going to ship. And I see that comment from a lot of people in here. So you can see that by doing something as simple as small as using an exclamation mark, how it changes, it can potentially change the meaning depending on who's reading it. Some people will see it and they'll they won't think it's a big deal, but some people reading it will misinterpret it. So just a good idea to not use a lot of exclamation marks and just keep it real dry. And this comment reads, no, you can't change it. It's made so buyers and sellers can rate their experiences. Mercari 100% will not change it, so don't waste your time. In the future, keep in mind, bubble mailers are not always considered appropriate packaging. You can still bubble wrap something going into a mailer. The envelope itself is not enough, as any force on it can damage the item with zero added protection inside. As for the rating, chalk it up. It probably won't be the last. Just try to give buyers the best experience you can, or pack how you would want someone else to when purchasing, and for the most part you'll be fine. There's always bad eggs who just enjoy leaving poor ratings. And isn't that the truth? Alright, and the last comment I'm going to read today says, you will get used to it as a seller. I ship same day, and some still complain when they receive it late. My items are brand new in box, they complain it's dirty. I packed with paper and bubble wrap, they complain packaging. I have ratings that they complain about the wrong seller. Now I let it be. Can't remove nothing, and even if buyers say they would email Mercari to change the rating, they never did. I don't bother anymore, and I got over 2K in sales. Oh, and some say they don't give 5 stars. LOL, so ridiculous. And that's true. Just like some teachers don't give people like a grade of 100 or whatever, that, you know. Like, some people just don't give 5 stars. Don't let it ruin your day, okay? It's not worth it. And in the long scheme, it doesn't really matter. If you're doing what you're supposed to, one bad rating won't make a difference in a sea of good ratings, right? So don't sweat the small stuff, and it'll be fine. And like I said, my advice is do not contact them. Especially if they didn't give you 1 star, because they can always change it to 1 star. So just don't do it. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and this video was some use to you. I will talk to you guys in the next one.